The cool thing about the story is, Taylor worked here in high school, and then he went off to trade school, got his welding certification,
Okay.
um, became a welder. You went to Hobart, and I said that right? Yeah. And, that's how he saved up the money, and he bought the farm.
Sure.
And, one of the things that people with tree farms, everybody wants to be a tree farmer. They always want to plant some trees. How do I get started?
Welcome to the Roll Up and Roll Out podcast. Sit down with blue collar business owners and inspired entrepreneurs to get the industry insights from the leaders that grow our local communities and learn how to scale your business. Regardless of GED, these people know how to GSD. Here is your host, Paul Childers. Let's get to work.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Roll Up and Roll Out, a podcast featuring blue-collar business owners who may or may not have their GEDs, but every single one of them knows how to GSD, get shit done. Today, we've got Taylor and Burke with Woodlake LLC as our guests today. Guys, thank you for coming on. How did you guys meet each other, and what got you into your business?
So we met each other. He actually was a random Facebook request
Okay.
before, and they say always when you're a single girl and those dudes send you a random Facebook request, ignore them. I laughed because that was the beginning of our relationship. But
Full of best practice.
right, he had actually gotten my number in college from my roommate, and I ghosted him before ghosting was a thing 20 years ago. And it was not until later that I sold a calf into his county. It won the county fair. They tagged me in the backdrop picture, and he saw it and thought, that can't be this. There's not more than one girl named Burke that likes cows. And he sent me a friend request and a message. And literally, the first thing I got as soon as I accepted the message was, "Are you going to quit being a dumbass after 13 years and go out with me?" Here we are. I've moved the cattle, and I live on the tree farm in Oakland, Maryland.
That's hilarious. And way to be direct with the with the message.
Take off.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
Oh, that's hilarious. So, give me a little bit of background on you guys. I know you got a tree farm, you got cattle, obviously. You're saying you had some cows that you had, but obviously that's how we kind of connect the dots to get back to you. Are you still doing cattle? And then, talk about the tree farm a little bit. Is that, the majority of your business? Like, how did that come into play here? And how long has that been part of your history?
Oh, so the tree farm I bought in 2005. I work here in college, and the gentleman that owned it passed away, and I bought it from his son, who lives in Eastern Maryland. Kind of the opportunity arose that, hey, we think Dad would like you to have this, and opportunity knocked, and I opened the door.
The cool thing about the story is, Taylor worked here in high school, and then he went off to trade school, got his welding certification,
Okay.
um, became a welder. You went to Hobart, and I said that right? Yeah. And that's how he saved up the money, and he bought the farm.
Sure.
And one of the things that people with tree farms, everybody wants to be a tree farmer. They always want to plant some trees. How do I get started? Um, the DeYoung family who own this farm, they were already in operation, so there were already 20 years worth of trees on the property.
All the trees here.
There were already trees here.
Yeah.
Trees like regular row crop or thatch crop. You got 7 years before you get any return.
Sure.
It's not like, oh, I'm going to plant some corn. Well, I can plant another 50 acres next year, have a little more return. No, there's no, it's kind of, you got to be able to look down the road
Yeah.
and say, see what's going on.
So, did you plan on getting into tree farming when you started off? Or was it
Really, I always wanted a farm. I didn't know it was going to be a tree farm. So I kind of took that and welding and been able to branch out into what I wanted to do.
Okay. It's fascinating to me. A lot of the conversation I have is, an opportunity came up because I was doing this with this particular person, and they just said, "Hey, you've been working here forever. Do you want to take this over when we move on?" Whatever, right? And so relationships play a key role into that too. But the willingness to take the action when the opportunity comes, I think, is the biggest thing that I kind of connect dots with a lot of the business owners I've been having conversations with. That door opens, and that might be one of the only times in your lifetime a door like that opens. And sometimes you just got to take the action. Was that kind of what you ended up doing? They all,
Kind of, there was no, so, we always, the family I worked for always sold the trees to other people. There was no retail business here at all. So every dollar, through retail business that we, make, we started at zero because no business per se to buy. You bought the ground, you bought the trees with very little financial support. I mean, there would probably been some there, but there was more of a
Not like there is now.
not like there is now. There's that.
When he bought the tree farm, there was a bank barn here that he used. He converted the basement of that bank barn into his bachelor pad, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, bachelor apartment that we all now live in while he's spending. Well, my office. This is in the finished part of the addition to the bank barn. And that he's built all by hand. But upstairs in the actual barn, he turned into a store.
Okay.
And his mom and his aunts are very knowledgeable in antiques and had fun, and they made it sort of their deal that they started doing estate sales and stuff like that. They opened the Christmas tree farm. There's a big festival here at the lake where we lived as a 4-season resort community. It's all economically based on the lake, Deep Creek Lake, and with ski resort. So there's a lot of outside traffic, especially from Baltimore, DC, Pittsburgh, Columbus, those areas.
Sure.
And so they open it on Glory Weekend. We probably have 5,000 people come through the barn and sell antiques. We're only open for those 3 days.
Sure.
Close it down. They gear everything up. We have some ladies that we hire that are retirees that do greenery and make wreaths and garland, and I help, and our kids help, and family members help, and we gear back up and open Thanksgiving, Black Friday for the Christmas season. And that all goes through the upstairs of the barn.
Okay.
So, that's the Christmas. It started out by a couple people wanting me to make wreaths for them, and you just sort of saw a market.
Sure. So you get 2 times a year, basically, that barn's open for people to come through. And I'm guessing it's probably like my wife goes to it's a Christmas barn north of us here in Minnesota too. And I don't understand it myself. They stand in line for like 4 hours before they even get into the place. And,
It's crazy.
It's the worst part is it's our home too. Live here. And it's quite a shock. Like, we've literally had people walk into our house at 10:30 at night. Like,
interesting. So you guys got the tree farm. You got, I assume you still got cattle. What else do you guys, diversify into as a egg family?
Commercial hay. We do about 20,000 small bales that we ship up and down the East Coast,
Okay.
all over.
we have a couple stables in Texas. This year we branched out into wheat.
We got some winter wheat planted, about 40 acres of winter wheat.
Okay.
Star customers.
So
You guys,
your Christmas series, that's it.
yeah. It sounds like you have enough to keep you busy already. So
Right. And then like I said, we have the cattle, and then dabble in meat goats, which we have private sales for them.
Or-
And then the lakeside of business to the vacations. He does snow pile in the winter. We get a lot of snow up here for vacation, people coming up to ski, landscape, trees, those types of things. Um, Docks, put docks on the lake because Deep Creek Lake, you have to remove the docks. They can't stay in during the winter because it's a snowmobile trail.
Yep.
The docks are permanent, and so you have to take them out in the fall and put them back in the spring. And that's where his welding fabrication he works. Actually, that's his plan this weekend.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I mean, you name it, we dabble in it.
So I know you both said that you were, seventh generation, in this stuff. Like what did that look like from each of your individual families, like standpoints come from? Like what was some stuff that got started initially and is still in existence as you guys are, continuing that tradition?
Well, I guess I'm seventh generation.
Oh, okay.
I'm fourth.
He's fourth.
Okay, gotcha.
His granddad was a horse to be reckoned with in the trading side of cattle. They used to run feedlots with buying and selling cattle, send out west thousands a head at a time.
Okay.
But, I mean, he's been gone now how many years?
Like it.
19 years, and you can still say his name at the barn and everybody at the markets, and everybody knows who he was. That side of the family is still going. His uncle has inherited it. His uncle does that side more. His dad and his brother mess with some grass cattle in the spring. And his nephews have some 4-H cows.
Okay.
But I mean, that's how you grew up, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, my granddad, he wintered 4 or 500 head when I was a kid. If we would, but there was no school, we fed cows all day. Or cattle all day, not custom.
It's interesting, the East Coast to me, kind of where you guys are out there, doesn't always kind of come up on like a cattle area.
Yeah, not at all. But if you look where we're at, I mean, technically we're Western Maryland. We're in the armpit of West Virginia.
Okay.
I mean, literally, that is what you tell people. This is a recorded broadcast, so I won't show you the geographical way you tell people. Somebody else, the bird, to say we're right here. But we're actually one of the number one producing. West Virginia is one of the number one producing seed stock in the country. And that's where my family farm grew up. I'm actually female generation. My grandmother, it's her side of the family that were the cattle farmers. My great-great-grandfather started out in Braxton County, West Virginia, running cows and dairy and putting milk to the school. She is who instilled. They had only girls, and then they had 2 girls. My aunt, my mother. My mother had me and my sister. And then I had the first 2 boys in 63 years on that side of the family. Yeah. So on my side, my family farm is all women run, which has been cool, and has been different. But we started out with seed stock, and like I said, providing milk. My grandma would run cows up and down the hill before school for the milkman. We haven't had dairy. I mean, we didn't go into dairy. Now his dad's side has a dairy to this day over here. But we got into raising some tall and Argus cattle and shelling, and the bug bit me. It did not bite my sister. She lives in Charleston, South Carolina. And so, but the farming, it's always been in my blood. A lot of people, sometimes it's very frustrating, especially with the bills and trying to get equipment paid and prices of cattle. And like we honestly, we need to buy land. We need more land to run stock on. And us being a vacation town, I mean, we can't compete against the developments.
Yeah.
That's
That's kind of a common, denominator around a lot of places is, the land aspect of things and how much prices have been driven up here recently. I know around us, it's astronomically high. So there really is no such thing as a first gen person getting into it unless you really have a good relationship with somebody or marry into a family that was, kind of like yours, where it was just, females that, didn't really want to take it over themselves. But we got a couple daughters of farmers around here that took the farms over from their dad that are running them just fine. So, I mean, you see stuff like that, but you see a lot less newcomers into the industry because of that main barrier of entry, which is the land. So, hopefully you guys are able to find something, there to expand with. But, what we got a couple minutes left here, but what big picture, longer term, like what are some of your guys' goals that you would like to kind of accomplish with, the resort, the tree farm, all that kind of stuff? Like what is like your big picture for, or maybe the definition of success is for you guys? Like, what does that look like? Does that look like handing it off to your kids? Does that look like, scaling it to a point where when you guys are ready to be done, you can just walk away? Like, what does that look like for you guys?
I would think getting our cattle operation, I think, would be our dream goal to get it organized. We've had a lot of operational success with some of our genetics we've been raising. But transferring, like I said, to Maryland, I had a very large farm where I grew up back in West Virginia. So I scaled down, and coming up here, the kids like the cattle better. I mean, we love the trees, don't get me wrong. Um, I don't know. There's just something about going and feeding your cows and watching them eat.
Yeah.
So if we could get our cattle
I
on,
mean, it depends on what the kids want to do. If they don't want it, if somebody wants to
buy it, they can buy it.
buy it,
Yeah.
well, see you guys later. Yeah.
Well, that's an interesting thing to me because there are a couple of guys I know around me that are dairy farmers that, when I was working in service as an assistant service manager for Case IH, there is a gentleman that came in. He's probably in his late 90s. He was fourth or fifth generation, and he was still waking up and doing all the chores and stuff. And he goes, I think I'd be dead if I didn't have the cows relying on me, right? So sometimes you get the animals involved in that. It seems like almost a level of responsibility that keeps these people around instead of walking away when they can. But I don't know if that's a bad thing. We all need something to do. I think retirement and just walking away from everything and not having a purpose, if you will, is
Right.
end a lot of people's lives early.
Well, I mean, he laughs all the time. I'm like, come on, it's just a payment. We'll just make a payment. It's just another payment. And he's like, I don't want to work till I die. And I tease him all the time. Like, what else are you gonna do? Like, you're not gonna vacation and sit back. He's not. I love him dearly, but he isn't gonna just sit back and eat bonbons. It's not it. And you talk about my grandmother is 92 years old, and she is back on the family farm, and she still has cows, and she's still feeding cows. And I think if it wasn't for those cows and my boys, I don't think she'd be with us.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Well, thank you guys for sharing that, and thank you for taking time out of your day to join me on this recording. I really enjoyed having you both on, so I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thanks for reaching out.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.